My name is Margaret N. Windsor, and I can hardly talk this morning. I've been putting this on videos since Alexis Murphy was abducted, and Randy Taylor is charged, although a body's never been found, for her murder. She's part of an ongoing, like, mind control murders done in patterns. And I've been telling about all this, who's doing it, and done in patterns since really I knew about it in 70, but I didn't know the mechanism used, which is mind control, till I worked for doctors in Atlanta, and a cardiovascular doctor, one of the in the group of three, put a heart bypass in the head of a corporation there and put a chip in it that they could control, well, his thinking process, modify it, his decision making. So they put it in. I do want to mention this. I was kidnapped and brought over here. I'm jumping here, but I can still think a little. Um, I was kidnapped from Buckingham Palace, and this is my father, Edward VIII. Decent man, and that's not how history would record it. He was married to Georgia O'Keeffe's sister. That's my aunt there, the artist. Claudia Ruth O'Keeffe is my mom. He never married this American spy. And by the way, she was the first woman put on Life magazine. I believe it was, or Look, I believe it was Life. 3 years, I've forgotten the exact year, after the takedown of my father, the force, with nothing but lies, and history has recorded lies, and a 99-year seal put on it. This is Wallace, and this is the double. Now, there was a movie made by recently, a couple of years ago, by a singer, and I mean, it was total lies. So it's not like I found out in '83 about my real name and kidnapping. I'm heir to the British Crown, Victoria II, not this woman and her brood of thieves. By the way, one of them, William's supposed to be coming to the United States. I don't think he's been here yet. And he'll get all the coverage in the world. And the First Lady of New York is supposed to escort him around. You should see what they did to me when I was run during winter. Back in, I can't remember, maybe 90, I don't remember, 90, 91, I don't know how I was treated in Albany, New York, and Troy. This is my Uncle George, the illegal monarch, George VI, with Roosevelt, and the one that's called Queen Mom, Elizabeth's mother, which is illegal. She's kin to the Rothschilds, and that's the people who kidnapped me, the New World Order, Illuminati, Rothschilds, Rockefellers, Bilderbergers. This was in '39 when I was born, that they met. I was kidnapped in '41, and Joe Kennedy was ambassador to England, and that's the father of JFK, so it's too much to put on this tape. I wrote about mind control murders after I worked for the doctors in Atlanta, and it's been ongoing, deliberately put in patterns. Larry Flint was shot while I was in doing the book. He was shot March the 6th of '78, and I was living at Moonraker Apartments in Marietta, and he did this editorial April '84. This is one of the mind control murders, the 33 shootings April 16th of '07 at Virginia Tech. That's right next to Roanoke, where I tried to live, and lived on the Appalachian Trail and starved and frozen, and up and down the side of the roads, back and forth to Atlanta trying to find my sons who are heirs after me. So this is why this has been done to us. This is the Fort Hood massacre, the psychiatrist, and he's charged with it. He was under mind control. He finished school at Virginia Tech, Blacksburg here. This is one of them. This whole list of them. This is Jens Oring's, the diplomat from Germany, and or he was at the time this happened, and this is Elizabeth Haysom. They were charged with the death murder of her parents, Nancy and Derek Haysom, and our paths crossed just before the campaign in '83 to replace Larry McDonald, the congressman doctor I'd written about in the medical malpractice book, and then had antifreeze put in me April Fool Day of '80, because this is the way this has been treated. But our paths crossed there, and then again in Grottoes, Virginia, I was living, where her parents were butchered, and they have been charged. Now, I could go into details. Everybody in this knew that it was mind control and what had happened. And Congressman, oh my gosh, don't let me, well, I won't even do that. He was the governor then. I'm not feeling good. Let me put this in. I'm allergic to chemicals. I have an immune disorder, and when I'm around chemicals, especially if you're in a closed-in space, like if they can control, I'm talking about the agency and law enforcement that's doing this, and the people that let it happen, the Americans, the media, controlled by the Rockefellers, Rothschilds. Part of my family, Elizabeth and her father, and some of the others are Freemasons, the Illuminati, that helped do this, take down my father and do this to me while they gloat. And they are escorted all over the world and the country and renowned, and they're nothing but a thug, killers. But anyway, this country is above the law. That's what State Trooper, and I've put his name on here before, his wife, in '09, said to me, we're Americans, we're above the law. And that's so true. All my life I've cried and begged, and I'll get back to, I'm allergic to chemicals, and this is not all. It's been an ongoing crimes committed against me and my sons, wherever they are, that is so, they don't want it told. The pain and suffering. But anyway, my illness has been used against me. And over the years, my places when I got them, other than trying to camp on the side of the mountain, they even came up there and sent the trail people, volunteers. And believe me, they put this on television. I was arrested. They leave out all the pertinent information, why I'm up there. And it's not even my name they arrest me under. It's all a big joke. But before this tape runs out, I saw this morning, so my illness it causes mass inflammation, and they control where I live or don't live. And over the years, just since I've come here in October the 20th of '86, it's been ongoing. So my body over the years, because you can't stop breathing, you have to move, and this is how they run me, and that's what the state trooper's wife said, and there's another way they run me. But before I go, so I'm so sick this morning, this is owned by the Patels and Shaws, which I told about, and I try to move, and it's the same thing, out of state, and I'm forced back. So I'm meant to be here and suffer and go to the media and nobody touch it and tell about the mind control murders that are being done and what's being done to me. So there's a lady that was on CBS this morning showing her daughter has been held for a crime she says she didn't commit in another country. She's getting full coverage. And here I am, a monarch. But not just that, I've been held since age 2 in a hellhole. I've begged and cried for these people to help me, and all they did is try to kill me and shut me up. So it's unreal. No wonder they don't want it told, because there's other ways other than actually beheading you, to get it done. And they've tried it all and done it all. And right now, it's cold up here, and it's raining, and I can't stand another day in here. So with a few bucks I've got left, I'm going to have to get a cab and go to the forest again, where they can run me like they always have. There's hunters out there. You think this isn't happening? It certainly is happening, and it has. And then the rangers will be sent out there, or law enforcement, and say, well, you're 75 years old. Your decision-making's not good. They leave out all the background pertinent information, and they would just handcuff me and I don't know what they would do to me at this point. I can hardly get around.